throw everything you know about From out the window. For 3 seasons, we've been played. Today, the game ends. Think about it. Why do the monsters smile specifically at Boyd? Why does he always have the answers, like he's the one who wrote the damn script? Why does every single nightmare in this town trace back to this one guy? Welcome to DramaCrypt. Today, we're dropping a theory that will ruin the show for you in the best way possible. What if there is no cursed forest? What if they're trapped inside Boyd's mind? What if Episode 5, The Echo of the Bells, isn't a warning signal, but his own funeral bells, the ones he's been running from his entire life? Buckle up. Boyd isn't the hero saving them. Boyd is the warden who locked them inside his own personal hell. Let us start with something that has been hiding in plain sight since day one. From the moment we arrived in this town, Boyd has been the engine driving everything. He finds the talismans, he confronts the creatures, he makes the life or death decisions. He is positioned in every single episode as the indispensable man, the one without whom the whole town would collapse. But here is what every great horror story teaches us. The person who is always fixing things is usually the one who broke everything in the first place. The theory we are presenting today is this. The town is not a geographical location. It is a mental punishment chamber constructed entirely by Boyd's own subconscious mind. Think about what we actually know about this man. He comes from a military background. He is someone intimately familiar with guilt, with carrying the weight of other people's deaths. And we watched him kill his own wife Abby under the justification of saving the others. But go back to Season 1 and listen to what Abby actually said to him. Boyd, you need to wake up from the dream. We all assumed she had lost her mind. But what if Abby was the voice of reason all along, desperately trying to pull him out of a coma state, a purgatory that he built himself, and then sealed the door from the inside, trapping every single person in there with him? Now we need to talk about the thing that disturbs every From fan more than anything else. That cold, patient smile on the faces of the creatures as they consume their victims. Why do they never run? Why are they dressed in clothing straight out of the 1950s and 60s? Here is the answer that changes everything. These creatures are not extraterrestrial beings or supernatural entities. They are the embodiment of Boyd's victims, every person whose death he caused, directly or indirectly, through his military career and his personal choices. That smile is not hunger. That smile is mockery, a cold, knowing mockery of his endless failing attempts to be the hero he believes himself to be. In Episode 5, The Echo of the Bells, the sound of those bells is not an external alarm. It is the sound of a conscience that has never gone quiet, ringing inside his skull every waking moment. When a creature smiles at Boyd, it is communicating something precise. We are here because of you. We are the memories you cannot outrun. And this explains the detail that the entire fandom has noticed, but never fully solved. Why do the creatures not attack Boyd with the same ferocity they use against everyone else? Because they do not want him dead. They want him to remain alive. They want him to keep suffering. Death would be mercy. They are offering him something far worse, an eternity of watching. Now we arrive at the thread that ties everything together and transforms this theory from speculation into something that feels almost inevitable. Why is Fatima the one carrying a strange, unnatural child? And why does Elgin keep seeing the woman who is drowning? In psychology, when a mind is desperately trying to escape from an old crime, it generates distorted new life, a corrupted symbol of hope, designed to cover over death. Fatima's child is the warped hope that Boyd's subconscious is manufacturing, a signal that some part of him still believes there is life possible inside this place. But there is not. And the Yellow Jacket Man who has begun to appear, he is the internal investigator, the force that has arrived specifically to demolish the prison Boyd constructed. His appearance to Fatima is not random. It is a warning that the truth has begun bleeding through the walls of the fantasy Boyd built so carefully, brick by brick. The cracks are forming, and something on the other side is pushing through. We all know that Victor is the oldest surviving resident of the town. He is the only one who witnessed the original massacre as a child. He holds the oldest memories this place contains. But at DramaCrypt, we asked a different question entirely. Why does Victor seem afraid of Boyd, even while claiming to help him? Look at Victor's drawings. Look at his oldest sketches. There is always a figure, tall, features obscured, standing at the center of the bodies. Our theory is that Boyd has not arrived in this town for the first time. Boyd, or a version of him that the town's collective memory has preserved, is the architect who designed this cycle 40 years ago. When Boyd found the talismans in the forest with such unsettling ease, that was not luck. That was not instinct. He was remembering where he put them. Boyd established the rules of this place. He decided that the stones would protect the houses, because his military mind always needs a perimeter, a barrier between himself and the truth that exists just beyond his defenses. He did not discover this town. He built it. Which brings us to the figure who has become the most discussed mystery in the entire fandom right now. If Boyd is the warden of this prison, then the Yellow Jacket Man is the virus. Or more precisely, the investigator who has arrived to bring the whole structure down. He wears clothing from another era, from the time of the original massacre that Boyd has spent decades trying to bury. His appearance in Episode 5, under the title The Echo of the Bells, is not a cameo. It is a declaration. It is the announcement that Boyd's control over this place is ending. In psychology, bells represent awakening. These bells are not warning the residents about the creatures outside. These bells are ringing for Boyd, ringing to pull him out of the state he has been suspended in. The Yellow Jacket Man forces Boyd to confront every face of every person who died because of him. And that is precisely why Boyd cannot fight him, cannot shoot him, cannot negotiate with him. Because the Yellow Jacket Man is not a person. He is the absolute truth Boyd has been running from, and you cannot put a bullet in the truth. Do you remember the scene of Julie doing her story walking, witnessing events from the past unfold around her? Julie is not time traveling. Julie has begun to see Boyd's memory reel as it starts to break apart. She saw the room where the Yellow Jacket Man had been. She saw the old clothing. She saw the artifacts of another time. Those are not historical remains. Those are old files stored inside the town's memory, inside Boyd's memory, that have started surfacing because the system is no longer stable enough to keep them buried. In Episode 5, Julie is going to make a discovery that reframes the entire show. There are no monsters in the forest. There are victims calling out for recognition. And the only way out of From is not through a lighthouse, not through a glass tree, not through any of the physical landmarks they have been chasing. The only way out is to confront Boyd with his own truth. A truth that once spoken aloud will bring the entire town down around them, and finally wake everyone from the nightmare that Boyd cannot stop dreaming. In Episode 5, as the sound of the bells escalates beyond anything the town has experienced before, Fatima reaches her breaking point. The child consuming her from the inside is not an alien creature. It is the physical manifestation of the guilt Boyd has been concealing. The guilt that has grown so large it can no longer be contained inside one man's subconscious. It needs a body. It found one. And in the moment Fatima screams, the bells will not go silent. They will transform into a white noise so total, so overwhelming, that every person in this town will be forced to witness their own funeral. Here at DramaCrypt, we are predicting that Episode 5 closes on a moment that will break the fandom in half. Boyd standing in front of a mirror, and instead of seeing his own reflection, he sees the face of the Yellow Jacket Man, smiling back at him. The message will be unmistakable. You and he are the same person. You are the warden, and he is the victim, and both of you are imprisoned inside your own mind, forever. Fatima's scream is the final bell. It is the announcement that the prison Boyd constructed with decades of guilt and denial has begun to crack. And the truth he has been running from is no longer at the door. It is already inside. From is not a horror show. It is a journey into the deepest layers of a mind shattered by guilt. If Boyd is truly the architect of this entire nightmare, then we are walking into a season finale that will be among the most devastating conclusions in the history of television. So I need to hear from you right now. Drop it in the comments. Can you trust Boyd after everything we just laid out? And do you think the Yellow Jacket Man is here to save the residents, or here to end Boyd's suffering by ending Boyd himself? The best theory I receive will close out the next video, so do not hold back. If this one cracked something open for you, the like button and subscribe are right there, because we are just getting started on uncovering what is truly hiding inside the echo of the bells. This has been DramaCrypt, the monster that tells the bitter truth. Until next time.